Alright then, so to begin with, I just want to grab the starter files that I've created for this project. Now to get those, I've gone to the Firebase Firestore playlist repo. Remember, the link to that is down below. And what I'm going to do is go to lesson 1 right here in the branch dropdown. Now, as you can see, there's 3 files of any significance here. We have app.js, index.html, and styles.css. This top one, app.js, that is empty. We're going to start from scratch with that. But I'm going to grab this beginning HTML. As you can see, it's very simple. And what I'm going to do is put that inside my code editor over here. Let's just scoot this like so. And I've created these files right here, app, index, and styles. Nothing in them at the minute, but I'm going to copy in the index.html file. And as you can see, this is just a link to a style sheet at the minute, which is right here. We also have a body tag, inside that an h1, Cloud Cafe, a div with a class of content to store all of our content in. This form right here with an ID of add cafe form, that's where we're going to put our form to add a new cafe in the future. And then a UL tag right here with an ID of cafe list, which is where we're going to load all of our cafes when we get them from the database. Finally, at the bottom, I've got this script, which is just linking to app.js. Again, there's nothing in there at the minute. We're going to start from scratch with that. So let me save this. The other thing I want to grab is the styles.css. So I'll grab all of those from here as well. And these are just some basic styles which make the app look at least a little less cruddy. So let's just paste them in there. I'm not going to go through this file during this course. It's not a CSS course. If you want to learn that, I've got loads of playlists on CSS on this channel. So anyway, there we go. That's the CSS and the index page sorted. That's our starter files, if you like. Okay, so from here on in, we're going to be adding to app.js and this file a little bit as well. Okay then, so now we've done that, the next thing we need to do is set up some kind of Firestore. Now, I said that Firestore was a database that's hosted in the cloud, and that's hosted by Google. So to set one up, what we need to do is go to firebase.google.com and you'll see this page. Now, if you have an account with Google, that's great. There'll be a link saying go to console up here and you can click that. If you don't, you need to sign up first, then go to your console. So when you go to your console, this is going to list all of the different Firebase projects that you have. As you can see, I have 2 at the minute. I'm going to create a new one for this course. So click on this. Then we'll give this a name. I'm going to call this Ninja-Firestore Tut. And then I'll select my region, United Kingdom, and accept this. Then I'll create the project. So this is just going to take a few seconds to do. And then when it has done, just click on continue to go to the control center of your new Firebase project. Now, this Firebase project is going to contain a load of different stuff, not just Firestore database, but things like authentication, storage, hosting, functions, MLKit. All of this stuff comes baked into your new Firebase project. Now, this series is just going to be concerned with the database. But like I said, I will be doing other series in the future about storage, hosting, functions, authentication, probably this as well, MLKit, and maybe some kind of analytics down here as well. So anyway, we just want to focus in this series on the database. So select your database option right there. There's 2 options. This is the older option. The new one, which is currently in beta, is this Cloud Firestore. So let's get started with that one. Now, these rules right here, I'm not going to go into too much depth into now. Essentially, they allow you to lock down who can access your data. But since we're just in development mode, what I want to do is start this in test so that we have no issues when we're trying to save or retrieve data from local hosts around here from our computer. So let's enable this now. And it's going to set up those security rules and create our Firestore database. Alright then, so once that's created, you'll see something like this. Okay then, so you can see we have our collections over on the left. And over on the right, that's going to populate with the different documents that we have in those collections. So to begin with, let's create a new collection. And this collection name is going to be called Cafes. So next. And now it's asking us to store our first document in this collection. So this document ID right here, this is going to be auto-generated by Google if we don't enter anything. So I like to keep this blank a lot of the time so that Firebase can automate that and provide that unique ID for us. It's going to be a long string of numbers and letters. Then we have to add our different fields. So these are the different key value pairs, things like title or city or rating. Okay, so let's create one called, I don't know, title first of all. Or in fact, we'll call this name, makes more sense. This is going to be a string, and the value for the first one will be Mario's Mocha. Okay, let's add a new field. This one will be the city where this is located. Again, it's going to be a string, but if you did want to store a different type of data, you can select that right here. So number, boolean, object, array, all these different things right here. Okay, so we can also store something inside here. This is going to be Mario Land to begin with, and we'll save that. Okay, so this should create that cafes collection listed here on the left, but we can also create multiple collections by adding them right here. We're just going to stick to this one collection for now, and when we click on it, we'll see all of the documents for that collection in this second panel. Okay, so this right here, this is the unique ID that Google Firebase created for us right here. So that's the identifier of this document, the ID. If we click on that, we can see the different fields inside this document, the city and the name. So that data now is being stored as a document inside the cafes collection, and we can add more documents if we want to. I'm not going to do that for now. What I'm going to do is just now set up Firebase in the front end over here in our application so that we can access data from the database. So to do that, go to your project overview right here, and we want to click Add Firebase to your web app. So what I'm going to do right now is just copy that, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to paste it right there. Now I'm going to zoom that in, and I'm going to grab this one, and I'll explain what these things are in a second. I'm just going to put this in the header so that we're keeping it separate from this thing down here so we can see what everything is. Okay, so this thing, first of all, this is loading in the Firebase library. Now, this is the development version of the library. This package right here is loading everything to do with Firebase in it. All of these different things right here. Now, we're only concerned with the database in this project. So what we could do is instead load in two separate libraries, Firebase-app, and then we'll copy this and paste it down below, and then change this to Firebase-Firestore. So what this is doing now is loading in the core app library, which we need for anything, then just the Firestore service from Firebase. So now we're not loading in all of this other stuff as well. You can use just the other library if you wish, but this is more efficient. We're just loading in the things we need to right here. Okay, so down here, what are we doing? Well, we're creating an object called config, and this is storing our API key so we can identify which project we're hooking up to over here. This project. It's also got the auth domain and the database URL, all of this stuff that Firebase needs to figure out how we're connecting to the data store. Okay, so you don't need to worry too much about this right now. This is just configuring our application on the front end to link up with our Firebase project that we've just created over here so that we can interact with that Firestore. Okay, and then finally down here, what we're doing is saying Firebase.initialize app. Okay, now we have to add a couple of lines here. What I'm going to do first of all is create a constant and call this DB, and I'm going to store our database inside this. Now to get a reference to our database, all we do is say Firebase.Firestore, like so. Okay, so we can use that because we've imported Firebase and the Firestore up here. So we're creating now a reference to our database, and we're storing it inside this constant. So in the future, whenever we want to interact with the database, we'll do it via this constant right here. All right. The next thing we need to do is just set some settings on this database so that we don't get a warning error in the console. And that looks like this, db.settings. And then inside that method, we pass an object, and inside the object, we say time stamp in snapshots, and we set that to true. So this is just a setting for working with snapshots in Firestore, and we have to place that here so that we don't get warnings and errors in the console. Okay, so now we're ready and we're set up to start working with the database. So now when we let me just scoot this in, when we, inside app.js, start to reference the database using this constant, and we can do that because app.js is below this, right? We're defining this first, then inside app.js, we can reference this to start interacting with the database. We can do things like database.collection to grab a collection, etc. And we'll see exactly how all that works starting in the very next tutorial.